Are you behind on your mortgage, or are you already facing a foreclosure and you're trying to figure out if you have any options now to stop it and protect your home? I know there can be a lot of stress involved, so I'm going to help you understand different options to prevent a foreclosure and more. So here's what I'm going to cover in today's video. First, we'll help you understand 10 options to stop a foreclosure in Illinois. Then I'll help you understand how long a foreclosure generally takes in Illinois. And then finally, I'll wrap it up with which option you should do. Dealing with a foreclosure in Illinois can be overwhelming, and so I want to help you understand everything you need to know. Before I dive into 10 options to stop a foreclosure in Illinois, if you end up finding this video helpful, feel free to leave a like, as it's always encouraging for us to see. As well as if you want to see more videos about resolving debt in Illinois, feel free to subscribe, as we're trying to put out new videos weekly. Nevertheless, let's dive in to 10 different options to stop a foreclosure in Illinois. Okay, so now I want to help you understand 10 options to help stop a foreclosure. First option I want to help you understand is Chapter 13 bankruptcy. So one question I get quite a bit is whether a bankruptcy actually helps stop a foreclosure. Now, there are two main types of bankruptcies, Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. There are others, but these are the ones the most applicable to you. Now, a Chapter 7 is going to be between $1,000 to $2,000 generally to cost to file with an attorney, while a 13 is generally a payment plan over 3 years or 5 years. Now, if you're facing a foreclosure though, Chapter 13 is probably going to be that option to help you get caught back up on your mortgage and stop it from foreclosing. Now, sometimes folks are actually able to stop the foreclosure in a Chapter 13 and they get their mortgage arrears end up being discharged at the end of their plan. But for the most part, it's dependent on a few things like your income and your expenses. So we actually built a free Chapter 13 monthly plan to stop foreclosure calculator that'll help folks kind of estimate what their 13 would look like if they're actually trying to stop a foreclosure. And as we understand that everyone's situation is unique and that this all can be so complex to understand, the calculator will actually help you estimate the cost, the pros and cons, as well as you can see a breakdown of your payment plan to help you understand it in more detail. Now, with that said though, if you do have any questions after taking our calculator or after watching this video, you could always give me a call or text at 833-272-3631, and I'd be more than happy to go through your unique situation. Okay, so now I want to help you understand the second option, which is a loan modification. So if you're at a spot where you see yourself needing to fall behind soon due to some unexpected expenses or something else going on in your life, well, you could try to reach out to the lender directly and see if they're actually willing to consider a loan modification. Now, if that's not going to work, or if you've already tried it, you could also look at trying to reinstate your loan. So at this point though, you may have already missed your payments, and let's say you have a bit of cash to pay back the arrears. Well, you could actually try to talk to your lender and see if they would take the payment and allow you to continue paying down your loan without any legal action. Typically, if you have the funds available, lenders will actually accept this option. Okay, so next option, a repayment plan. So you could try to see if your lender would consider a repayment plan. Basically, a repayment plan allows you to slowly pay back the payments you missed while simultaneously continuing to make your normal mortgage payments. This allows you to slowly pay off any missed payments instead of having to pay it all up front. Though lenders may be more hesitant to do this, you can try and come up to an agreement on a monthly payment on top of your mortgage that they will accept. Next option, a forbearance agreement. So if you're in a tough spot due to maybe losing your job, getting sick, or unfortunately going through some sort of divorce or anything else that could impact your financial situation, you could look at a forbearance agreement. Generally, this would allow you to skip or lower your mortgage payments for a period of time. Basically, it's sort of a grace period to help you get through your current financial mountain. Most times you would bring up what's going on and they may be willing to work something out for a period of time. Generally, it is for a delegated period of time that'll help you basically figure out what's going on and stay up to date on your mortgage. Now, another option could be refinancing. So depending on what the current interests are, you could look at refinancing. This would allow you to start fresh with a new lender, meaning the lender may be potentially more willing to work with you if you do need a little more assistance later on. Now, the next option may be something a little bit more challenging to come to an agreement on, but you could look at selling your home. One thing you could do, and I know it's not easy to do, is selling it, right? And so whether you've lived there for years or the current market to rent is not great, it can definitely be a hard decision to make. If you would make money though, or even break even, if you sell your house, it could be an option to consider. You may be even able to purchase a home that is more in your price range, or even rent a house while you get back on top of your finances. I do know it's not easy though, but it's just something to consider. Okay. Next option would be a deed in lieu of foreclosure. So you could also look into this. Basically, this means that you would hand over the deed of your property to the lender. This is going to do is ideally cancel any debt you may owe them. And now the lender would then own your property and you would actually have to vacate the home. This would basically help you walk away without too much damage, essentially. So another option here would looking at a short sale. So one thing you could consider is short selling your home, which is basically meaning you're selling your home for less than what you currently owe in the house. It basically, a lot of homes that go to auction aren't actually sold for their appraised price. And so some banks and lenders may actually agree to a short sale on your home. You know, another option here to look at would be looking at maybe free or low cost foreclosure help. What that looks like is that sometimes your state's government would actually prefer you to stay in your home. So there may be some sort of free resources that you could see that whether you can actually allow you to stay in your home. For this, you could look and see if there are any programs available to help provide free mortgage payment counseling or any kind of foreclosure mediation services. But that's kind of the last option I want to go through, and I want to help you understand, more logistical pieces now. Okay, so now that we've covered 10 options to stop a foreclosure in Illinois, I want to quickly address how long a foreclosure actually takes in Illinois. Now, most times it actually can depend on when the lender starts the process. So let's first understand what the process looks like. As you know, foreclosure is a legal process in which the lender, whoever you got your mortgage loan through, decides to seize and resell your home after a certain amount of missed payments. There are a few steps in between missing your payments and having your home foreclosed. Now, I will say each state's process can be slightly different than what the federal government states, and so it may be helpful to look into that. Okay, so finally, I want to touch on helping you understand which option you should do. Since everyone's situation is unique, it's ultimately up to you on which option makes most sense. However, I will say if you've tried most of the options I've talked about earlier and now you're considering bankruptcy, I would take our Chapter 13 Illinois Stop Foreclosure Calculator. That'll help you estimate the cost, pros and cons, and break down the planned payment based on your zip code and personalized data. That way you can make the most informed decision and compare all options. I definitely hope that this video helped you understand how to stop a foreclosure in Illinois, as I know it can be overwhelming. Feel free to give us a call at 833-272-3631 or leave a comment down below, as I'm sure there are others with a similar question.